I turned myself into a pickle! Boom! Big reveal, I'm a pickle!
Hey guys, I'm Pickle and I'm pumped to give you your first League of Legends tutorial. Today I'm gonna talk about the client itself. So I'll start from the top right corner and then I go around in a clockwise order and basically touch all the parts of the client so you can navigate yourself as well. First of all, on the top right you can see your name, and under that, if you click there, you can edit some small message that you want. I edited my Twitch stream there, but you can really say whatever you have it on your mind. Next to it, you can click the little image, which is your profile picture or icon, summoner icon. People will see it during champ select and stuff. If you unlock some rank in ranked, then you can even select the rank border as well. One really interesting thing is if you wanna log out and log in with another account and you selected like remember me or something when you logged in, then you have to click the X and sign out instead of exit to be able to switch accounts. Next to it we get the settings. Settings has a bunch of useful features, so let me go through some of them. You can select the window size. It's the size of the client itself. All right. You can disable the newbie tips if you're not a completely new player. So that's one thing. And you can even close the client during game, which will like improve the FPS, but it will like take longer to load your game. Here at the chat, you can enable the language filter so you don't see any swear words and stuff. And then further down the list, you see the sound, which I used most basically, because here you can select how loud the game should be. Well, I am never satisfied with the sound, so I usually like try to figure out which one is the best. And also disable music, because usually you don't want to have it during champion pick and stuff. All right, down the line there's voice. So the League client, the Riot client rather, has a built-in voice channel functionality, which you have access whenever you join a party. So you join a game, that's a party, you will be instantly joining the voice channel. If you invite someone to party to play together, you instantly join the voice channel. If you use Discord or anything else, or you're streaming like me, you most likely don't want this, so just feel free to disable that. Alright, then the next section is about the in-game settings. Well, most of this I don't want to get into details because it's much better if we talk about these while in the game, but basically all of your hotkeys, the in-game sound, the interface, and certain game options can be accessed here as well inside the client, so you don't necessarily have to get in a game to change them, but it's much easier to understand their effect if you are in an actual game. Moving down on the right side, we see this social panel. This is all about your friends and communication and stuff, right? So at the very top you have your clubs. I'm in the Pickle gym. I'll get back to the clubs a bit later. You feel free to join the Pickle gym. Here you can add players based on their summoner name or Riot ID. You can create folders if you want to group them by whatever you know, some of them from school, some of them from work, from Reddit, whatever. You just create a folder and then you can drag and drop your friends there. All right, in the friends, when you can just like hover over them to see if they're in a game, what they're playing, how long they've been in the game and such. You can also right click to access a bunch of options. You can spectate their game, to watch it almost live, there's a 3-minute delay, or watch their profile, or send a message and stuff. You can also just left click to open up the chat message with them. Down the line you can bug report, and if you join the voice channel, here's where you can access all the information about who's in your voice channel and stuff. On the left side, you have your chat with whomever you talked to. They will appear here, and you can just have a friendly chat with them. And next to it, you have the missions. By default, you see all the missions, but some of them are not for league specifically. Some of them are for TFT, which is another kind of game by Riot. And some of them are awarded for watching some pro games. So you might want to hide some of these. What I would recommend is to always filter for the topmost, because that's always for League of Legends, and completing these will give you some currency or rewards that you can switch to champions or skins. Next to play with Win Home is this exclamation mark, which is sometimes yellow, sometimes red, sometimes is not there. This is where Riot communicates all the temporary issues that they have with either the client or within the game. You will see all this information here, like spectator mode is disabled because there's some issue with it, right? If you click home, by default, if you are not a new account, you arrive to overview, which contains some news about the game and the upcoming events and sales and stuff. If you're a new account, you see this journey, which is basically your initiation phase, where every day if you play a bit, you get some champions and reward. So you want to complete these, but you will naturally complete them as you play the game. And then lastly, there are the patch notes, which is always handy. You can read through the latest and even before that patch notes, see if your favorite champions got any buff or nerf. Okay, next up the list is profile, where you have stats about yourself mainly, and this main picture contains a bunch of hidden information that is quite useful to know. First of all, your name and level. Level matters until you reach level 30, because that's the threshold to play ranked games. After that, it doesn't really matter. Here you can also select your profile pic, but under that there are a few icons which are pretty interesting. This left one is the available chests. So how does this work? Every week up to 4, you gain an available chest that you can achieve by playing the game. To gain a chest, you or someone in your party have to achieve at least an S- rating in the game. That is awarded based on your performance on a certain champion. For a champion in a league, which means, or a season rather, which means 1 year in league terms, you can only achieve a chest once. So let's say I'm playing Ezreal, I achieve S-, I get a chest. For a year until there is a reset, I cannot get the same chest on Ezreal. What are these chests for? You gain them as loots, and with keys you can open them to get some champions or skins. Okay, so in the middle you see your boosts, so you can purchase experience or currency boost. Their duration or number of wins they are available will be shown here in the middle. And next to it you see the ARAM rerolls. So ARAM is a game mode in the game. It's not played on the Summoner's Rift, but on the Howling Abyss, which is another map. And ARAM stands for all random, all mid. So you will get a single champion, a random champion, and you have to play that, okay? With this, if you have rerolls available, you can reroll the champion that was given to you. So the maximum you can stack is 2, so feel free to use it whenever you're playing ARAM. Eventually you will get more. Alright, the rest of the stat is your current solo or duo ranked. I'm not level 30 yet, so of course I don't have any. Then the honor rating, which you gain for being honored by other players you are playing with. Then the mastery score, which is kind of your masteries on the champions that you play. So if you play a champion, you win or lose, you gain some mastery point, you level up those, and this is the accumulated combined point of all those masteries. And finally your trophies and banners. The rest here, the match history, super useful. You can check all your stats that you played in the games. You can dive into them to see your opponent build, your build and stuff. So feel free to browse this. You can also download the replay itself, and then this icon will transform into like a watch icon, and then you can jump into the game and rewatch your own game. Then the next is the ranked. Again, only applies if you're at least level 30 and you started to play rank. This is your progress in your rank. The clubs is like groups. It has no real meaning. It's just like grouping people together like I'm in the Pickle gym right now, and feel free to join me. We can have a friendly chat there, and we can easily access each other if we are in the same group or club rather. Next on the list is highlights. So if you have a replay and you're watching your replay, you're able to select this part of it while watching the replay to make a so-called highlight, and the highlights are saved on your computer and you can rewatch them. And the last one, which in my opinion is the most interesting, is the stats. So stats give you, well, as the name implies, stats about champions. So you have to play at least 3 champions to get a stat compared to the other players. But if you played at least 3 with the same champion, you can click on it and you can see like other players in the same role with that champion, how did they perform? Like, did they do more damage? Did they get more gold? What about the vision score that they achieved during the game? All of those stats you can see here, and you can quickly grasp what you're lacking and how could you improve. So feel free to commonly browse stats. It's super useful. All right, moving on, we're getting to our collection phase, or collection tab rather, which contains, well, everything that your account owns. So in League of Legends, you don't by default own all the champions. You cannot play all of them. You have to purchase them for either real money or in-game currency. And each one of them, if you want to play them, you have to own them. All right, for each champion, you can purchase skins. This is for, well, mainly purchased by real money. Here's where you can see all the skin collection that you own. Next, it's emotes, which is like quick communication inside the game. Some of them are funny, some of them are sarcastic, so you can just like drag an emote there, and then with the emote flywheel you can just trigger them. Or I can say, whenever we ace our opponent, let's show this emote. Runes is not available for me yet. You need level 8, but this is basically your preset path that you selected for a certain champion in a particular game. Spells. So each summoner, you are a summoner in League, right? You are not the champion, you're actually controlling the champion. Each player gets 2 summoner spells that they, for free, from this selection. And they can use any combination of this. Of course, they cannot use the same summoner spell twice. Here you can read through the summoner spells and you can see like which one did you unlock. So Flash has a level 7 requirement, while Smite has a level 9. And the game will also show you how they function. Alright, items. Again, something that not many people use, but it's super useful. So by default, the game will recommend what kind of items you should build on a certain champion. Here, you can create champion-specific item sets that will be shown to you while you are shopping. So you have a much quicker access to the items that you want to buy. Next, icons, again, unlockable or purchasable for your summoner icon. Wards, again, skins for your wards. Some of them look awesome. I only have the default for now, but eventually I will unlock some. And finally, the chromas. So chromas are essentially skins, but with a twist. Let's say you have a skin, and that skin have different colors, variations, okay? So those color variations are called chromas. But you can also unlock a chroma without unlocking the actual skin. So be really careful, because even if you have the chroma, you cannot use it until you have the skin as well, okay? So chroma is a color variation for a skin that you also have to own. All right, moving on, we reach TFT, which is the separate game of Riot. It's an auto chess mode, so it's not the traditional MOBA as League of Legends. It's something different. You can give it a try if you wish. And finally, we have Clash, which is a reoccurring tournament. That is, it's a new addition to the game. You can have 5 friends of yours, or 4 rather, because you're the 5th one. get into this tournament, fight until in a single elimination bracket, and win some rewards in the end. Alright, next section, most interesting, your currencies. This blue thingy here is called the blue essence, unsurprisingly. This is the main in-game currency that you can use to buy champions. Pretty straightforward. Above that, which I have 0 of, is the riot points, which you can purchase for real money. So these riot points can also buy you champions to speed up your champion unlocking process, but it can also buy you skins. People mainly use it to buy skins. So if you get to the loot section, that is all the thingies you gain for either completing quests, leveling up, gaining chests. As you level up, you gain so-called champion capsules, which will appear here. You can open them and they will contain some champion, and then you can decide to either disenchant them to gain some blue essence or unlock them with spending blue essence to unlock the champion itself. These chests can be opened by keys, if you have keys, which you gain randomly by just playing basically, or you can purchase of course for real money. And they usually contain skins, skin shards rather, which you also have to unlock by spending orange essence or disenchant them to get orange essence. So what is orange essence? It's similar to the blue essence, but it is gained by disenchanting stuff that would cost you real money. So say you get a skin shard, but you don't like it or you don't want to unlock it, right? You can disenchant it to gain some orange essence. You do it a bunch of times, accumulating a bunch of orange essence, and eventually you spend them to unlock a skin that you like. Okay, so Riot gives you this free option to unlock some skins that you really like. Cool, and finally we get the store. So store is pretty self-explanatory. You can buy all of your champions here in the store. That's the main usage of it. You can buy it for riot points or for blue essence. Yeah, pretty straightforward. You can buy skins as well and any kind of loot. There's one thing that not many people know about. If you get to the Rune Pages, you can purchase Rune Pages, okay? So as I said, this is like a preset extra skill set for your champion for a current game. Now you get 2 for free, but if you only own 2 and you play a lot of champions, you have to like, switch them up a lot of times. In order to avoid that, you might want to purchase some additional Rune Pages, so you can have some preset runes that you don't want to change up every time you get into a new game. Alright, we talked about almost everything. We only had play left. So let's click play and walk through all the different kind of games that we can play. So League of Legends mainly focused on the main map called Summoner's Rift. Okay, this is the standard 5v5 gameplay that you can do. So blind pick is you just get into a lobby, everyone picks simultaneously, which you get into some random players. You can have a party up to like 5, but you most likely will face some pre-made party as well. And then you just play. It's the quickest way to play 5v5. The next one is called the draft, which is the standard format of every ranked game. So the difference is in draft, the 2 teams are picking one after another, and they are not allowed to pick the same champion. While in blind pick, since you don't see what your opponent is picking, you are allowed to pick the same champion. In draft, you also ban some champions, right? So if you don't like playing against some particular champions, then you can just say, hey, I want to ban this because it's too strong, I don't know how to play against, I just don't like it, whatever. But be careful because your opponent can ban as well, and they can ban your favorite champion as well. Alright, so ranked is basically draft. Ranked solo duo is basically draft, but you're gaining or losing rank points as you level up, as you win or lose games. And the reason why it's solo duo is because you can queue with a maximum of 1 teammate. All right. If you want to have more than 1 teammate together, that is what flex is for. So flex is exactly the same ranked as solo duo, but you can queue up to 5 people pre-made team. So that is basically 4 teams. Next is ARAM on the list. As I mentioned before, ARAM stands for All Random, All Mid. So this is an old game mode that Riot Games made not long ago, made a specific map for this game mode. And this is called the Howling Abyss, which comes with some special rules. Like, you cannot go back to the base to heal, and you cannot go back to purchase items. You have to fight until you die, and at that point you can finally spend your money. Okay, so it's like a back and forth. Like, one team is getting stronger, okay, the other one dies, they buy a bunch of items, they come back, and so on. Otherwise it's the same, you fight until the Nexus is down. The third slot is reserved for special game mode that is rotating based on some events. Right now it's One for All, which is still played on Summoner's Rift, but the catch is that your team picks a single champion and every one of you are playing the same champion. It's fun, but ultimately chaotic, so, well, still give it a try, check it out. It's pretty funny, and eventually it will rotate out for a new game mode, so yeah, check it out. The last is the Teamfight Tactic, which is again not the same game, it's a different game. This auto chess mode of League of Legends. We have the Cop vs AI, which is basically your very first practice tool. You play against bots, it's pretty easy, you have different difficulties. I would only recommend to play if you are super beginner, because you won't learn much from these games. Even the intermediate bots are so weak that you can easily beat them. So just try to play against people, you will learn much more from that. And then finally we have training. In training you can replay your tutorials if you wanna, like, you know, rewatch them, or you can get into the practice tool, which is a tool where you can set up like dummy opponents and refresh your mana or reset your cooldowns and stuff to practice certain moves with champions, right? So pretty handy if you want to master some of the champions. Alright, lastly, you can create a custom game if you want to play with a specific set of friends and you want to invite everyone for you know, both teams. And if you are in a tournament, this little tournament icon or like trophy icon is where you enter the tournament code to join a specific game. That is all that you need to know about the League client. If you enjoyed it, if I told you anything that you didn't know, or if you found this video helpful, then please hit that like button on the bottom and hit that subscribe on the top, because that would help out the channel a lot. Feel free to check me on my live stream, or feel free to join the Pickle gym and have a chat with me. I was Pickle, and until next time, guys.